Movies cost money, and micro-budget usually means that you have none. So I've come up with 5 tips to make your micro-budget story freaking awesome. Stories allow us to escape reality and experiment with things that we always wanted to try, and make the impossible happen. And there's no limit to what you can create when you're writing them. Movies, on the other hand, are expensive to make, and not everything we imagine can become a reality. So the endless cycle begins. You need to have made a movie to get money to make more movies, and you need money to be able to actually make a movie. Here's a list of 5 things I think of when coming up with a micro-budget size script. The concept is important for any movie regardless of budget. The bonus is that you're on the same playing field as the richest Hollywood studios. You both have a blank sheet of paper sitting in front of you. Since you don't have the marketing budget power behind your production, you're gonna have to come up with a concept that is solid and causes eyebrows to raise. This is important at any level of filmmaking. If you're a film student, if you have a solid concept that causes eyebrows to raise, you're guaranteed to stand out above the rest of the competition and likely to get funding. This one agrees. Make sure your concept has conflict in it. Present struggles and impossible odds. A major cost for making a film is the location. Major studio productions oftentimes spend $5,000 to $10,000 a day and upwards just for a location, especially in the Hollywood and other film-savvy communities. If the cost of a location is that expensive, you need to look around and see what locations you actually have access to and craft your stories around those. Also, if you're able to shoot at a location for an extended period of time, you can lock down your equipment without having to schedule in setup and teardowns, making your day shorter. Yeah, I know, it's boring. For me, dealing with a large cast will have me guessing as to what the character's motivation is, or spending more time than I have in preparing for it. And oftentimes, large casts means confusing and detailed plots that usually leaves the audience questioning what the heck is happening and leaves them really not that interested in the story. It's not always the case, but often it is. I prefer to keep my cast small. It's easier to manage logistically, and it forces me to think really hard about what the opposition is going to be. That results in spending more time working out the script, which kind of always a good thing, right? It is important to include conflict into your story. That is what makes a story interesting. But conflict could easily be a spaceship attacking Earth, and that is not cheap. This is where you need to pull out your pen and paper and start brainstorming until the ideas hit. I like to take my characters and make a list of different professions that they might have. Lawyer, teacher, baseball player, fly fisherman, etc. And then I make a list of everything that I find to be opposite of what that profession requires. A lawyer that lies, a baseball player that doesn't know how to play a position, a teacher who's never taught before in his life, a fly fisherman that's afraid of water. You get the idea. Whoa, there she went. Woo! This will give you some great ideas for how to build conflict into your story, such as a screaming baby while trying to record audio. I'm joining Ryan Conley live on Periscope. They're doing something. Hopefully this will come naturally if you've applied the other 4 tips. You can't copy someone and expect to make it. I dare you to take risks. Be unique, and don't just do what everyone else is doing, and copy other filmmakers. Be inspired by them. If you copy someone else, you will be quickly identified for your unoriginality and probably be forgotten. Use a genre to your advantage. Don't make the next Lord of the Rings on a micro budget, but what if your character was stuck in a dungeon or lost in the forest? See how I'm combining some of these previous tips to help this one out? This also works pretty closely with uniqueness. Let your genre help make your story unique, and don't play to the so-called trending markets. Now I love Westerns, and when The Lone Ranger came out and was a huge flop, people told me that Westerns weren't being watched by anyone anymore. Then Django Unchained was released and was a huge success. Then there was the Hell on Wheels series by AMC, Hateful Eight, Bone Tomahawk. If you play to the market trends, by the time you have something ready, they'll be on to the next one. Just do what you're passionate about and do it as best as you possibly can. If this was at all helpful, you should check out my free ebook, 5 Phases of Making Movies, from idea to successful completion. It's completely free and goes in depth into how to make a micro-budget film that you can actually complete. I've heard too many stories of filmmakers who have started their movie and haven't been able to complete it. I want you to be a success story. You've got a great story to tell, so get the movie made so people can see it. Links on the screen and in the description box below. If you have any questions for me, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Like and share this video and subscribe by clicking somewhere on this screen. I leave you with this: 2 grapes does not make an apple, but a smashed grape is no longer a grape. It is a smashed grape.